Britain will leave the European Union within 2 years, and perhaps it's not just free movement of people that could end, but free movement of parts too. The supply chains of the UK's manufacturers, for example, snake all over Europe, where components are routinely sent back and forth to be worked on. Naga Munchetti has been talking to people in the UK manufacturing industry about how they are preparing for life after Brexit. And a warning for any viewers with alicidophobia, this piece contains chains, lots of chains.
For more than 40 years, the UK has been one of the key links in the EU supply chain, forging relationships and strengthening bonds. Brexit could be about to break that chain. Manufacturers are wondering how best to maintain crucial trading links built up over decades. So far, they've enjoyed relatively trouble-free trading access with minimal regulation, paperwork, and of course, zero tariffs in the EU. As it seems more and more likely that Brexit will take the UK out of the customs union and the single market, a common fear is that trade will become more costly when the UK becomes the missing link. Manufacturing accounts for 45% of UK exports, of which half go to the EU. Grainger & Worrall was set up in 1946 as a family business in Bridgnorth, Shropshire. It makes engine blocks and prototypes for the auto industry, from Formula One to well-known car makers across Europe. It's established a reliable supply chain, which could be shaken by the UK's breakup with the EU.
Our business is about timelines. It's really important for us that we can move parts quickly and efficiently around the EU.
3 brothers, the 3rd generation of the family now at the wheel. They employ more than 600 people with an annual turnover of more than £50 million, supplying up to 100 companies at any one time.
Looking at those partners, they're questioning what really is going to happen, what could be the challenges that we'll face going forward, and nobody knows.
Making one of the company's engine blocks typically involves it going on a whirlwind trip around Europe as it undergoes various machining and treating processes. It starts life being cast at the facility in Bridgnorth and after 5 days makes its first journey to Italy, where the initial machining of the block takes another 5. From there, it's sent to Germany to spend 4 days being coated. Then it's back to Italy for final machining and assembly, a 10-day process. Once more to Germany for 3 days of honing, before returning to the UK for 2 days for cleaning and final inspection. Then the finished engine block is delivered to the vehicle manufacturer's plant in France. A journey of around 30 working days, involving 6 border crossings. How could Brexit affect the supply chain for Grainger & Worrall?
The cost impact and the knock-on effect. Our customers really wouldn't be very pleased if we did delay them an extra half a week.
Half a week's not a long time, but it sounds as if time really is crucial here.
Time is absolutely crucial.
We delay a week here or a few days here, it will start to put pressure onto those relationships that we've built up.
What would that look like?
They will be looking to see whether they can get those services or develop suppliers that can do those services within the EU family and not come to the UK for that. So the UK would lose out.
Hours matter, days matter, and for us to have something that's not going to add value in that chain, i.e. sitting at border control or waiting for bureaucratic paperwork to be completed, is very difficult.
There's no time or space for a stop-start system in manufacturing. But businesses may not be able to avoid being dragged down by bureaucracy.
If you are importing product and then exporting it back to the country of origin as part of an assembly, you will need a process for dealing with all of that to make sure that you can optimise the duty position. Now, some companies will have that, but lots won't. Anyone who doesn't do that, who thinks that they can muddle on with business as usual, I think will be at a disadvantage.
One such company, which is assessing how it may have to restructure its business post-Brexit, is Magal Engineering. It supplies engine parts for car makers across the world. It has 2 plants in the UK, as well as ones in France, Turkey, India, China, and an office in Germany. This factory in Reading, Berkshire, imports and exports to around 30 countries. In order to make this part, which controls the temperature of a car and its engine, components are brought in from across the EU.
So we've got plastic granules filled with glass fiber that come from Belgium. We've got a sensor that come from Germany. We've got copper that come from France. Then we complete assemble that in here, and it goes through Germany as an export.
Again, going with the flow is essential. Founder Jamil says he has capital to spare, ideally to invest in growth. However, he may be forced to spend it on swapping which factories produce which goods in order to avoid any onerous tariffs.
At the moment we're importing things from France, we will make here. But with a lot of things that go from here to France, we will make there, or Germany. We'll have to make outside of the UK, and they will go to France where we've got a plant. This is obviously not something that I want to do.
So why not use Brexit to dump existing supply chains and set up new links in the UK?
A lot of the, what you might call vocational skills that are required in mechanical engineering and electrical engineering, we just haven't trained enough of those people. We don't have them.
Without skilled workers, it will take much longer than the next 2 years to build a self-sufficient infrastructure in the UK.
Quite honestly, the skills gap in the UK, I don't know whether it could deliver all the requirements that we want.
How long would it take?
I think it's a generation.
The next 2 years need to be used to maintain strong relationships with the EU, while reaffirming the UK's reputation for being a manufacturing hub of excellence.
This motorsport culture we have is a can-do culture. You know, you're presented a problem, and in motorsport, here's the problem, your answer's yes, and then you go and deliver on it and find the solution.
Is that your answer to Brexit?
Yes.
Manufacturers recognise that the shape of the supply chain will change. Although with strong links already forged, it's hoped that the system will remain joined up, despite the UK's decoupling.
No